Oh, there you are. Hey, YouTube. It's Adventure Vin in my dirty garage. This is going to be specifically having to do with the KLR 650 Gen 1. I have a '07. The topic right now is that my speedometer stopped working. Speedometer, trip meter, which is rigged up to the front wheel. I believe what had happened, and I'm going to jump on the other side of the camera so I can show you guys more in detail how I troubleshot this. But what we ended up doing, me and my buddy Hector, there's my beast. I rode this. I took this on a solo Route 66 round trip from Santa Monica to Chicago and back. I've only been riding motorcycles for about a year or two when I did it, but it did real fine. One thing I liked about this motorcycle, I was able to do a lot of maintenance on it myself on the road. It was light enough to pick up if I went down, which I did not. But I'm getting ready to go on another trip this summer on the Lincoln Highway from San Francisco to New York City, then down to South Carolina, and I'm going to try the TAT, the Trans-American Trail. But let's get back to topic. We're talking about the speedometer. What my buddy Hector and I did is that we went ahead and replaced the original disc with this larger diameter disc for better braking, and it does. It works awesome. I can talk about the braking later. It was a really good choice to do, but I can give you the dimensions. But we're not talking about the brake. Why I bring it up is that whether you're changing the brake or changing the tube or the tire, you're taking the front wheel off. When you take the front wheel off, the mechanism that attaches the speedometer comes with the wheel, obviously, and sometimes it pops off. And right away, because of all the grease that's generally packed into these things, which I have removed, I'm going to repack it with grease, you really don't see some of the details, and I'm not a mechanic, so we make some mistakes along the way. But you see these two grooves here? I'm going to come in real close. These two grooves are meant to fit into this gearing system. See those tabs? See those tabs are bent back? Those should be going out. Those should be going out, I want to say the word lateral, but basically even with that whole washer itself. So ideally what you would do to fit this back in, and I'm trying to juggle it with two hands, hold on. Those tabs are supposed to fit in like that. Okay, you see what my problem is? They're not. So as the wheel, somehow I think what we did is that we set them in that way, or maybe caught them there, but nonetheless, they should be dug into the system like that. So as the wheel obviously rotates, it rotates the main gear shaft where you see my fingers touching, but it doesn't. So right now, as the wheel turns, it was just basically spinning on top, and it was not actuating the cable at all. So what I'm going to attempt to do is take this out, probably get some kind of chisel and a piece of wood and hammer those back down so they're flat. I'm going to pause the video and tell you how that works out, and then I'll resume. So hopefully when I get done, they're going to sink right in there. And once again, it'll catch and it'll rotate this gear mechanism, which in turn, let me set this up. So this gear mechanism here, trying to get in focus for you folks, goes in here. And what was really seating it in there was just a bunch of grease. So when this drops in, when I drop it in when I'm done, right, I can't see it, but there's like it looks like a barber pole, it's a little gear shaft that runs up and down through here that melds with the round gear, and as it spins, it turns the cable through that. So you start getting your speedometer, your RPMs, and actually not the RPMs, but speedometer and your trip meter and your odometer. So I can't really detect it right now. Let me pop that back out. Bear with me. Let me see if I can get a shot of it. If I hit, there we go. See it in the back? It looks like a barber's pole with little threads that twist up. The round gears match up into that. Those should be going, those tabs should be matching up into the wheel. So as it turns, this turns, this turns. And there's probably a ton of you guys that already troubleshot this and know the correct terms to use. But if your speedometer is not working and your trip meter is not working, then this is probably the cause. You probably changed out the tire, the wheels. You might have swapped out the brakes. You took off the front wheel at some point in time, and with so much grease that's on it, you really can't even see it. And you're moving fast, you want to get the job done, and you inadvertently do not line that up. You end up bending it. It looks great from the outside, but you got to line that up. So at this point, I'm going to pause the video, see if I can hammer it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that worked out fairly well. What I really didn't realize is that whole washer assembly, once again, there was so much. This is an 07, so this is a pretty old bike. The grease had packed it on there, but it just basically pops right off. And I just put it on a flat surface. Actually, I just put it on my cement garage floor and just started pounding on it, and it straightened out. I may consider, you know, it's a small enough item, I may consider buying one or two to take with me on my road trip. I'm going from San Francisco to New York, down to South Carolina, attempting the Trans-American Trail, the TAT, on the way back into Oregon. And I can imagine there's going to be a lot of work done on the bike with all those miles. So right now, I'm just going to snap all this together and show you how it's going to fit in. So those grooves, there's grooves on the gear piece. So that's going to go into there like this. I want it to. There we go. Okay, so it seats in there, and it's somewhat loose actually until I put the pack with grease. So let's go over here and try my luck at being one-handed. So now you see how it fits in there. Before they were bent up. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pack everything back up with grease. I'm going to pause it again. It's going to look the same from the bottom. I don't know if you guys could see it. But that was the cause. So hopefully, once I pack it with grease, I'll reassemble it, put the cable back in. I got it up on these jack stands up here, and then I have a center stand in the back. So I got the bike upright, which will be the front wheel will be free from the ground, and I'll just spin the wheel and see if it registers on the tachometer. So there you go. So if you guys find yourself into this, my first recommendation is you just take all the grease off. Take all the grease out, clean it up. The more you clean it, it starts coming off. It's not hard. I didn't find any WD-40. You probably could have used kerosene or diesel fuel to take all that residual stuff off. I actually used PB Blast. It's my go-to item. I just kind of soaked it, then wiped it down with the blue cloth and got it where I can actually manipulate it and work on it. But I hope this is a good enough angle so you guys understand, you know, why your speedometer. If you've done any recent work on your front wheel, I guarantee you, or I don't guarantee you, but I'm recommending start where I'm starting, and that might be the fix. So far, cost me a little time, gained a lot of knowledge, but no money has been spent so far on this fix. Okay, so I think I got some good news here. I reassembled it, and I reassembled it kind of loosely. This is what I used. I don't know if it was the right stuff or not, but this is what I used to repack it. I've used this stuff for all kinds of stuff, and I haven't had an issue. It's a KLR, so. And then also, that was what I went in. And then right here, someone had mentioned that you want to put some oil on the contact and that. And I just simply used some of this for that. I just kind of gave it a little bit of a test run. I haven't really tightened everything up yet, but I wanted to show you guys something. This piece here, let me get the cord out of the way. What you really should do, sometimes people show you how this should be orientated. This spins freely up to a certain point, and then it catches right about there. It's not going to go any further. It has some play in it. But when you turn it back this way, it stops right there. I saw some other ones, and I may reconfirm, but you see the angle of the fork coming down? I saw some other ones where this actually was going more towards the angle of the fork. So I might be off on this a little bit. I hope I'm not, but I might be, which will be kind of a shame. But that's why I'm not tightening everything up yet. But what I did, before I restarted the camera, I'm putting it on the tripod now. But what I did is I tried it out. And if you look over here, getting camera shot, I hope you guys can, there's a notch right here. This notch, you're going to slide in, and it's going to seat in there. I'll put it a little bit. It'll seat in there. And I think it's in. And then as I turn the wheel, let me see if I hope you guys can see that. See how it's turning? I need like 5 arms to do this. Oh, well, almost lost the camera. Almost lost the camera again. Come on. All right. Look right here. You can see the turn right there. That wasn't happening before. So I'm going to hope that this is the right position for this piece right here, that it's going straight, almost 90 degrees up instead of tilted. If it's not, I'll get back with you guys. So as I turn the wheel, I know that's engaging it. And I had it on 444. Well, I haven't done it much, but hold on. Let me see if I rig the camera up here. I set it up. Come on, camera. I'm no professional. I'm not a professional videographer. I'm not a professional motorcycle rider. I'm just trying to do my best. Let me see what we get. I'm turning the wheel by hand down here. I don't know what's going on up there. Let me take a look. And nothing. I don't know, maybe it was moving. Looks like that 4 was moving. Let me give it a couple more spins, everybody. Hold on. It's spinning, the cable's spinning. So what it tells me is that I have it engaged correctly on the hub. The cable's spinning, and if there's any issues now, it's got to be the cable. It's got to be the cable going into the tachometer itself. So let me pause again. Well, I wish I had some good news, but I don't. Not right now, at least. So I tightened everything up. I'm spinning it. I said tachometer, speedometer, trip meter, and odometer. It runs the speedometer, trip meter, odometer. That's what I'm troubleshooting. Tachometer, RPM thing, that is operational. I'm not having issues with that. So I spun it a few times. It's not working. I'm going to call this video 1 of 2, and then I'll do 2 of 2 with the conclusion to see what ultimately it took to get that the speedometer, trip meter, and odometer to register. Right now, I know that bent piece was an issue. Obviously, we showed you that. I know I had the cable moving. It's got to be the cable going into the main head unit now. So I'm just going to stop this video so I don't lose it, and then I'll resume it with the second and final. All right. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this is helping somebody get that much closer if they're troubleshooting the same issues on a KLR 650. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye. Okay, everybody. I am back, and success. Okay, here's the issue. Before I pause the video, I'm going to try to merge these. Like I said, I'm no videographer. I might have to do a 1 of a 2 unless I can put them together. But remember when I was pointing this out, originally when I had it set up, I said it was kind of going off of a 90-degree angle from the ground. Well, I used to work on bicycles a lot, and these things are, measured distance, these cables. And I believe I saw another YouTube video where this was more in line with the angle of the fork. So I had to back out the axle bolt, which allows us to spin just a little bit, and it clicked into another position. As I showed you previously, it has a little bit of play. Well, and it went all the way around. Now the play is from here to here. This allowed more room. It resat into the head console up there. So my speedometer, I'm so happy this works. So everything's working now. So let me set up the camera again. I'm gonna go down below and I'm gonna spin it. And it was on 4444 before. 4444 before. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me go to 0. This is important for the KLR, as people know. There's no fuel gauge, so we really need that odometer, or trip meter rather. Okay, so right now I'm in front and I'm spinning the tire in a forward fashion. And it's making a liar out of me. Come on, let's go. Oh, I guess it is moving. Okay, you guys see that? Let me spin it a few more times. This has really got to be boring to watch. So while you're looking at that, yeah, this summer 2021, leaving Southern California, going up the coast to San Francisco to Lincoln Park, then taking the Lincoln Highway to New York. Oh, well, there we are. It changed to 1. So yeah, I'm taking the Lincoln Highway to gonna stop and see a lot of friends along the way, try to do some camping at national parks. I don't know where the world of COVID is going to lead me, but that is, for my hand is killing me. Oh, then you saw my speedometer go up too. Well, that's it guys. That was about another 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So good fix, happy to have it. Once again, if you guys come across that yourself on the KLR 650, more than likely you just recently had taken off the wheel to do some work, either tire tube or changing out the brake pads or the disc brake itself. I wish Hector was here, but he was my buddy that helped me put on the disc. But yeah, that's just a bigger diameter. I have seen the Gen 3, the KLR just came out because it's coming out this summer, next summer, where it comes stock with a bigger one. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm really happy with my Gen 1. You know, I had some overheating issues. It's rustic, it's old technology. It's a carburetor, not fuel injected. It fits my capabilities. It fits my mechanical capabilities. I have not changed out the seat. I was riding on the stock seat on my Route 66 trip. My wife got me this afterwards and I love it. I have no problems. I've been on a couple of hours on that. I'm not going to swap out the seat. I love my little arrangement here. I have a lot of accessible stuff on my tank vest, tankvest.com. If I was active duty at the time when I got it, but I believe if you're reserve, active duty, retired, or even law enforcement, you get a discount. Tankvest.com. They make them for other bikes besides the KLR, and I think they make them for different. I know they make them in different colors. I haven't been on the website lately, but I was in the Army days. I was a paratrooper and a Cav Scout. I do a video where I talk about the KLR 600 air-cooled that we had up at Fort Lewis, Washington. I was at the museum. I did a video of that. Looks a lot like this bike, a lot like it. But let me let you guys go because I'm done with what the topic was. But thanks for chiming in. Leave me some tips if you want to talk about the bike, ask me questions, or hopefully that this is a fix for you guys if you're changing out the tire. I was really nervous about it at first. But hey, let me tell you this though. After we put that brake on, we went a couple 100 miles and it was working fine. I don't know what happens, and I matter of fact, I may be doing a follow-up video saying, oh, I did it wrong again. But that tire is not the first time that wheel's been off the bike. So hopefully what I did today, and I took my time, is that I won't see that this installation, I won't see that issue again, hopefully going forward. All right, guys, like, subscribe, get out there and ride. Look forward to my my pre-packing. That's some of my gear I'm taking with me over there on the floor on my camping trip. But yeah, I'll be doing some pre-videos on where I'm going and what I'm bringing and stuff. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.